Hey mamas, you're listening to the Balanced Working Mama podcast, the only podcast teaching you how to balance your work, motherhood, and wellness. I am Dr. Amber Thornton, clinical psychologist and mama wellness consultant. Each week we dive into tips and strategies and much more so that you too can become a balanced working mama. Let's dive in. Hey mama, Balanced Working Mama is growing. I want to make sure that you stay connected and up to date with everything happening over here. So you don't miss any of the good stuff, head over to balancedworkingmama.com, sign up for the newsletter. You'll always be the first to learn of any new podcast episodes, events, programs, and you'll get a hello from me every now and then. So sign up today, mama, because I want to connect with you soon. Hey mamas, welcome to the Balanced Working Mama podcast. This is season 6. Congratulations to us for getting this far. Hello everybody. So for this first episode of the season, I want to just slow down, take a minute, take a breather, and really just do almost kind of like a reintroduction. And this is for the new people who are listening for the very first time, but this is also for those of you who have been listening for a while now, because I'm here to let you know there are some changes that are coming with Balanced Working Mama, but also there are some changes that have already happened with Balanced Working Mama. And some changes with me as well. And so I want to share those in this episode today, and then also give you an idea of what to expect for this season of the podcast. So let's just go ahead and get started. For those of you who are meeting me on this podcast for the very first time, or just getting acquainted to me on Instagram, wherever you might find me, my name is Dr. Amber Thornton. I am a clinical psychologist. I am a mother of 2. I am a wife. I live in DC. I am born and raised in Ohio. Those are the main facts about me. You know what? Honestly, whenever I'm introducing myself, I'm always like, all right, what else am I supposed to say? Let's see. What are some other important things about me? I am a type 3 Enneagram, which means I'm the, what do they call it? The super ambitious type, the achiever. I'm the achiever. I'm very achievement oriented. I love to work out at 5 and 6 in the mornings. What else? I don't know what else to share about myself. I have a dog. Okay, whatever. Those are not the important things. The important things is also I, in 2020, founded something called Balanced Working Mama, and that is why you're listening to this podcast today. So actually, let me backtrack and tell you a little bit about my family life. I have 2 children. My son is 2. His name is Cedric. We often call him C3. And my daughter is Eden, and she is new. She is 5 months old. Almost 6 months actually. And so this thing called motherhood is what led me to exactly where I'm at today, with Balanced Working Mama. So little story. I grew up in a pretty traditional home. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and I have a brother. He's like 3 years younger than I am, and my mom and dad. And so my mom and dad were always married, and I grew up seeing some pretty traditional gender roles. My dad worked a lot, you all. He often would work Monday through Saturday. He might leave the house like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and not return home till like after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock sometimes. And it was because he had his own auto body shop. He was an auto mechanic, and he and his brothers had a shop for all of my life. We always called it the shop. And so he did a lot of really hard manual labor, but he also was the sole provider of the services at that shop. My uncles did trucking. And so that led him to work really long, really hard hours. Excuse me, there's something in my throat. And so, oh my God, that sounds terrible. Let me get some water real quick. Okay. Okay, and so what that led to is my mom being the one that took care of the household things and, me and my brother a lot more. The shift in that balance in terms of who was doing their share of the childcare and the housework was definitely off balance in the house that I grew up in. And it mostly fell on my mom. And it was because my dad worked so much outside of the home and my mom was there. Mind you, my mom has always had a full-time job as well. So my mom typically would work. She would probably work. I remember my mom used to drop me off at school. So back then I had to get there super early, like 7. So she would probably get to work before 8 o'clock. Probably would do a standard 8 to 5. And then she would come home and then clock into her second job of mother. And she would cook dinner every day, clean the house, get us bathed, put us to bed. And that was her life for many, 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 many years. What I will say about my childhood experience is that while I am so grateful and lucky to have the structure and all the things that my parents provided, I did grow up feeling this sense of dread and fear about becoming a mother. Unfortunately, what I think I accidentally learned from watching the experience of my mom and dad is that motherhood is hard as shit and that's not something you want to do. And that's an unfortunate lesson. Um that's not what I want to pass on to my daughter or any other woman who wants to become a mother. But unfortunately, that was what I took from it. And I think part of that too was because I also was a very ambitious and driven young girl and woman. I wanted to go to school. I wanted to pursue grad school. I wanted to become a psychologist. I wanted to have a really big, great career. And I just couldn't put the pieces of the puzzle together to see how does it work for you to become a mom, but then also to have all these other things you want in life. Because unfortunately, I think what I saw was being a mom meant sacrificing all those other things for the sake of your family and the sake of your children. So flash forward to, let's see, my mid-20s or something, on the path to seeking the career I want, dating my now husband, and really starting to give some new thought to this whole motherhood thing. Because I had started to realize that I was making decisions about motherhood out of fear. And it was fear of this one particular image of motherhood that I had seen when I was growing up. But things started to click for me where I felt like, okay, I feel like I'm with the person, my life partner, who can help me make this work. But also, right now, I am doing the things that make me happy. And I am so committed to figuring out how I can do this motherhood thing and still take true, complete, whole care of myself. I feel like that is unique because I think many of us, as we become mothers and when we become mothers, and also like our mothers, I don't think many of us go through this process of like, all right, this is how I feel now. And I want to make sure I continue to feel this way as I enter into motherhood. I think instead what happens is that life comes at us so fast. We become mothers, often because we want to, and we completely forget about all the other things that bring us joy. I partly blame society for this as well because society tricks us into believing that when you become a mom, your whole life is going to be joyful and awesome. And yeah, it's hard, but the children are going to become the center of your life, and that's how it's supposed to be, and you're going to be so happy, all those things. And we know that that is not the true reality. Actually, what happens is when you become a mom and you have children, it's very overwhelming. It's very tiring. It can feel very chaotic. Oftentimes, you can feel like you're failing because there's so many things to now consider that we're often just not really prepared for. So, going back to my story, I did eventually become a mother because I have 2 kids now. And I in the very beginning, and when I was a new mom, I started to see some of the things I saw growing up, especially in some of the mothers around me, some of the millennial moms around me. What I saw was the struggle in, I want to be an amazing mom like I saw my mom do, but I cannot do it all. I can't take care of myself like I want to in the ways, that I need. Or, I'm chasing this career and I've got all these kids and all these things. This is what I was seeing. These are the issues and the struggles and the problems I was seeing around me. And I felt like there needed to be a cure or a fix to these problems. And also, I did not want to end up in that place. I did not want to end up in a place where I felt like I would regret becoming a mom because I felt like it was taken from me. That's not what I wanted. Now enter Balanced Working Mama. Balanced Working Mama came from a place where I felt like I needed something to keep me balanced and keep me grounded as I walk in this journey of motherhood. I needed something to keep me accountable in continuing to prioritize my wellness, to always take care of myself, to always put my needs first, to always pursue my dreams and goals and passions instead of putting them aside now because I'm a mom. Balanced Working Mama has been the thing for me that really keeps me in check because it allows me to really practice all the things that I'm preaching and teaching to other mamas. And now I'm so blessed that Balanced Working Mama has become that thing for so many of you as well. We are in our second year of life in terms of Balanced Working Mama, because the idea came when? In February? Wait, I'm getting my dates mixed up, you all. It was February of 2020. No, oh my God, February of 20. No, oh my goodness. I am so confused. February of 2020. Okay. Ooh, Lord. Okay. Ooh, confused. Okay. February of 2020 is when it happened, when Balanced Working Mama became a thing. So what we initially started doing, we started, for those of you who have been listening for a very long time and been a part of this community for a while, you all remember we used to do our Zoom check-ins, and it was during the pandemic when nobody knew what was going on. Moms were home with their kids because daycare was closed, schools were closed. It was a hot mess, and we would hold weekly Zoom check-ins, really just to check in, like, how are y'all doing? What's going on? What's working for y'all? What's not? That then rolled into our Empower Wellness program. You all, we are in the fifth or sixth cycle of our Empower Wellness program. I've lost track at this point, and we're getting started this week. And I have been so amazed at how successful the Empower Wellness program has been in helping working moms to really, truly bring balance and wellness to their life. Like, the transformations that the Empower Wellness program has brought is crazy to me. And if you want to read about them, you can go to balancedworkingmama.com and check out our mama blog. We've got so many interviews on there from mamas who have participated in the program and really sharing their experience about what it's been like for them. So the Empower Wellness program has just been so good. This podcast, we're in the 6th season, and we've got so many listeners and so many downloads, and that is growing as well. Over the summer, my Instagram exploded. There are now 21,000 followers on there, which I don't know if everybody really cares about what I have to say on my Instagram, but there's a significant increase in the people who are following along. Our Balanced Working Mama Instagram has also grown a great deal. And so I guess what I'm here to say is that Balanced Working Mama has become this thing that I really am so happy about. And I'm most happy about the fact that it is helping to support millennial moms, especially Black moms, to truly bring balance and wellness to their lives as they become mothers. And I'll reiterate, this is specifically important for millennial mothers because we don't have a roadmap for motherhood in this generation. What I am noticing is that millennial motherhood looks very different from what our mothers' experience looked like. And there are really no books or no roadmap or nothing for it because we are living it out in this moment. And so this is an important time because we get to dictate what motherhood will be like and should be like and what feels good for us. And Balanced Working Mama is like the forefront of that movement. And I am so happy about it. So that is what we do. I want to share a little bit about how Balanced Working Mama itself has changed in the last few months. And one is that we have a team. You notice that I say we often. It's because I'm literally talking about the Balanced Working Mama team. When I first started, it was just me. And then eventually I brought on Brandy, our intern. She's also our assessment and support coordinator. She is in control of all of our motherhood wellness assessment data for mamas who take our motherhood wellness assessment. And then we eventually brought on Sydney. Sydney is my virtual assistant. She helps me with so much, especially as I've transitioned back to work in person. I realized I was doing so many tasks that did not necessarily like help with supporting the moms. It was helpful, it was useful, important things, but also things somebody else could do for me. And so I brought on Sydney, my virtual assistant, and she's been amazing in just getting all these things done and really making sure that like the Balanced Working Mama stuff in the background that like nobody really realizes needs to get done gets done. Lastly, we just brought on a new mama wellness coach. This role supports our Empower Wellness program. And so, what our mama wellness coach does is check in with our mamas each week who participate in our Empower Wellness program. Something else I also used to do. But now, in this season of building Balanced Working Mama, but then also balancing my own personal life, I realized I can no longer do and wear all of the hats for Balanced Working Mama because I truly have a vision for this being something bigger than just me. And also, I'm realizing that I'm not the only mama who has something important to say. I'm not the only one that can support other mamas. We can build a team and a system that can do that together. And we are so much stronger together. We're so much better together. So I'm excited that we are now a team of 4. Our mama wellness coach is named Brittany, and you can actually check her out on the Instagram. So that is where we're at, y'all. And I'm really excited. What I want to say is that as we move into 2022, there are some other new things coming. Actually, this week on my Instagram, I will be sharing a pretty significant announcement about where Balanced Working Mama is going for 2022. We have something really exciting launching for January of 2022, and I hope that you all will be a part of it. But you can learn about it by checking out the Instagram and making sure that you tune in to the announcement this week, which I believe will be on Tuesday. So I will be announcing something big that's coming for January of 2022 that we'll be working on for the rest of this year. And so the cool thing about this is that after I announce it this week on the Instagram, I'm going to be talking about this new big cool thing on this podcast season. So that's what you can expect for this season. Me sharing a lot more about this new cool thing that I hope that you will be a part of for January of 2022. We also will have a few interviews in this season as well. We've got Taylor, one of our past Empower Wellness mamas, to talk about mental health and motherhood. We've got Jasmine to talk about building a village in the midst of trauma recovery. We have another Empower Wellness Program Mama, Tara. She's going to talk about her transition from being a stay-at-home mama to a working mama. And I believe we will have an episode this season about mamas in school, specifically grad school, or the process of how do you have kids and go to school? So they're going to be talking about that as well. So we've got some good stuff on the podcast. So I'm excited about this season. I think lastly for this episode, I really want to talk about the mission of Balanced Working Mama in this moment. And, originally the mission and the purpose was to help working mamas, especially millennial mamas, Black mamas, to really bring more balance and more wellness to their experience of motherhood. And again, this is because I feel like it is so important for us to ground ourselves in our own wellness, in our own well-being, in our own desires and needs as we are doing this thing called motherhood, because motherhood is so encompassing and so overwhelming that it can take that away from you if you are not intentional and if you are not conscious of it. That is still very much our mission and our passion, to help mothers in this experience of really grounding themselves in wellness and balance throughout their motherhood experience. However, as I'm growing in my own experience of mother, because I'm still a new mom. I've only been in this game for 2 years. As I'm growing and learning, but then also as Balanced Working Mama is growing, I'm realizing that part of our mission is also to help mothers grow in the experience of motherhood, because I know that that's what I need as well. And I know that if I'm feeling like I need it, I'm not the only one. It's like, yes, how do we help women and mothers to ground themselves in balance and wellness? But also, how do we help ourselves to grow? How do we mother ourselves? And what I'm learning is that we cannot do that alone. We do that in the midst of community. Within community, we can heal, we can grow, we can learn. And those are the things we need as we become mothers. I think there's always this assumption that when you become a mom, the learning and stuff stops because now you're so focused on this little person to help them learn and grow. But I'm learning and growing too. And I need a community and a space to help me continue to grow in motherhood, to continue to prioritize myself in motherhood, to continue to ground myself in my wellness. And it takes a whole community of us to help keep each other accountable, help each other keep grounded, give support and guidance and advice, mentorship in motherhood, all of that. I want Balanced Working Mama to help mamas grow. I want Balanced Working Mama to help mamas thrive in motherhood so that we don't have to go through an experience later where we're regretting not taking on opportunities because we're moms. We don't have to go through experience where we are regretting, the things that we've sacrificed. We don't have to go through an experience of resentment of all the things that we gave our children because then we realize we never gave ourselves something. We don't have to go through this experience of dealing with really bad health things because we neglected our health the whole time we were moms. I don't want us to go through any of that. And Balanced Working Mama is going to be the place and the space and the community where we learn how to do otherwise. Yes, that feels good to me. I hope it feels good to you. And if you know that you want this, you need this, that resonated with you, stay tuned. I promise y'all. We've got something really good coming for you. Again, we are working on something for January of 2022. Please tune into the Instagram so that you can hear the announcement about what it is. I'll be talking about it a lot more on the podcast this season. And thank you for being a member of our community and really supporting us and being a part. All right, y'all. I hope that y'all have an excellent week. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you soon. Hey, Mama. I'm so glad you're listening to the podcast, but I also want to connect with you on social media. So be sure to follow me and Balanced Working Mama on Instagram. You can find me at Dr. Amber Thornton. That's DrAmberThornton, and Balanced Working Mama at Balanced Working Mama. BALANCEDWORKINGMAMA. Follow along, join in on the fun, but then also send me a DM to say hello. See you there. Hey mama, thank you for listening to the Balanced Working Mama podcast. If you love this podcast, please be sure to rate it and share it with another mama that you know. And don't forget to follow me and Balanced Working Mama on Instagram. I'll talk to you soon.